As the tribe emerges from the dark, wet jungle, the tribe knows not what it will see. Bing! Miss 76, sitting pretty. And Miss 76 has a mini update right now for all of those of you that have been asking. The bike runs great. It's dialed, the motor is solid. The only problem is I snapped this cheap aftermarket clutch cable. I have since ordered an OEM Kawasaki clutch cable for this 1976 KZ900. However, it has not arrived yet. I'm waiting for it, and once it arrives, I will put it in and I will do some vlogs on this machine. So hang tight for that. Unfortunately, she is not the topic of today's conversation. Today's conversation revolves around this mess. Oh no, let's bring in the intro. Alright, tribe, so as many of you know, Athena went down. She was hydro locked. I didn't hit that kill switch quick enough, and her rod bent and her piston kind of exploded, and there's probably a bunch of metal in the case, and who knows if the crank is twisted and what else is going on with her. She's got about 28,000 miles on her, and she's been through a lot, to say the least. So today we are at a crossroads. What do we do? Here is what I have decided to do because of an amazing offer by MR.DUHFACTOR. If you guys don't know who MR.DUHFACTOR is, check out his YouTube channel. I'll post a link down below. You guys all know meanest, and he's been going out to Utah riding, and he actually bought a WR out there, and MR.DUHFACTOR got a hold of it and just turned it into a badass machine. Threw a 310 stroker crank in it. His friends at Lindsay Machine Racing flow benched the head. They did head work on the bike, and a bunch of other stuff. Just dyno tuned it to the point that I think it got up to 34.2 or 6. Don't quote me on that, but it's 34 point something horsepower from the stock 25 horsepower, which I think is excellent. And he's extended an offer to do something very similar to Athena. So I've decided to send this entire bike to Utah, and I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna put her on a pallet and ship her off. I don't know how long it's gonna take to turn it around and get it back. I want to do it and do it right. So MR.DUHFACTOR has so generously offered to do a lot of the work on it for free, which is just incredible. And his friends at Lindsay Machine Racing are going to do some work on the head at a reasonable rate, and we're going to change a bunch of stuff in the motor. We're going to do everything that was done to Kurt's bike, meanest, with the exception of one request I had. I was like, MR.DUHFACTOR, can we just try to eke out one more horsepower? So it's just going to be a fun little challenge, to say the least. But I think it's going to be doable. He's got some pretty amazing ideas. He's just a genius with bikes, and it sounds like the crew that's out there are also very knowledgeable with these machines. Unfortunately on Maui it just doesn't really exist once you start going into the depths of the technical minute variables that will affect the motor. I just haven't, it's just not out here. Why not just get a new bike, Kalani, is probably what you're asking yourself. And my simple answer is I don't really want a new bike. I wouldn't mind a KTM 350 EXC, you know, right off the showroom floor, but it's a very expensive bike on this island. It's a $13,000 motorcycle. And I just don't have the funds for that. And aside from that, I just love this bike. I mean, if I had the money to buy a new bike, I'd probably just get another WR and do exactly what I did to this one to that one. But then that begs the question, why not just bring this one back to life, right? So the round trip ticket for her is approximately $1,600, and I'm gonna deal with that. I'm also gonna do a little t-shirt campaign, and if you're a patron of mine on Patreon, please don't do anything. I already owe you guys like 3 videos, so I apologize for those videos being so delayed. They'll be coming, but thank you for being so patient. But I'm gonna do a little t-shirt campaign, and if we don't feel obligated at all to do anything, like I said, I'm gonna send this bike off. It's gonna be awesome. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but if we did sell a bunch of t-shirts, everything will happen faster, everything will happen better, and everything will be bigger, faster, and stronger. Maybe I'll do a t-shirt like that, Athena 2.0 or something, bigger, faster, stronger. And I'll post a link at the end of this video. But by all means, do not feel obligated, because I will take the responsibility of bringing her back to life. Now let's talk about where this bike can go. In terms of mods, the cylinder is good. It's fine, so we're gonna keep that. Some of the exciting things that are probably gonna happen to her are full-on powder coating. Athena 2.0 is going black. Powder coating, her motor's going black, baby. With the exception of some red parts. It's gonna be a black and red theme. The plastics are gonna go black. I'm gonna redo the graphics a little, because she's not gonna be an Athena 290 anymore. She's gonna be an Athena 310 with the new stroker crank that will be put in this motor. She'll get an additional 20 cc's. And MR.DUHFACTOR was also talking about shaving this head down just a little bit. I don't know the exact specs, but I think he said it raises the compression ratio to the highest level that you can get it to and still be reliable and run off of just pump gasoline. Although she won't be able to run off 87 anymore. It'll always have to take 92 octane. But I think she likes 92 octane. She's like, oh yeah. Okay, some of the other things that might happen if we can gain some additional funding is these rims are toast. I put this new tire on, and the inside of the rims are just like flaking away and starting to produce little sharp metal shards, and that's probably why it went flat when I put a new tube in it. But anyways, new Excel rims with anodized hubs, front and rear. MR.DUHFACTOR is also going to redo my suspension, because it's basically turned into a pogo stick now. She doesn't have much suspension. Exhaust, different exhaust if we have some additional funds. He's gonna rip this bike down to nothing. It will be a pile of bolts and wires and pieces. Powder coating the swing arm, the frame, the rear subframe there. I don't know if that's called the subframe. All new bits and bobs up there. I mean, I'll turn this bike into a sick machine if we go above any or if we gain any additional funding. But if not, she's going to come back running strong and awesome and yada yada. Alternatively, if you guys go berserk on the t-shirt campaign and you want to see it and the funds are there, we can get a pair of supermoto wheels on Athena and maybe do like a Sunday supermoto thing, because I would love to see her in supermoto trim. When I borrowed Minute Stop's rims, I had a lot of fun in that trim, so that's another thing. Anyways, guys, I'm talking your ears off, but those are the plans for Athena. This bike has brought me so much joy in the few years that I've owned it, and I don't really have any desire to ride a different style of bike. I love the on-off-road ability of it. I love the 6th speed that it's got. You know, it's a little heavy in the trails, but the way I ride, it's perfect. I love it. I don't ever find myself in a situation where I'm like, gosh, I hate how this bike is heavier than others. So that's kind of my reasoning for keeping it. I know I could search Craigslist and probably find a nice YZF 250 or a 2-stroke or something. And those options are still out there. If this bike just comes back super pristine, I might not want to take it in the dirt and maybe just throw it in supermoto trim and call it a day, and then get like a little, you know, YZF 250 or a 2-stroke. But this bike isn't going anywhere. She's part of the family. This is Athena. This is full-on dark wet jungle status right here. I like it. Uh-oh. What do we got here? What's going on here? Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Fuck that. Athena, you pig. You are a good little piggy.
Yes, you are. Turn you into a 5-speed with a stick shift.
Oh, shit. Short shifter. Oh, super short shifter. What?